Hey everybody, welcome to Self Massage every Thursday night at 6. We are going to work on neck and shoulders and back tonight. So great areas. Lots of folks keep or hold on to a lot of stress and tension in their neck and shoulders, especially because we're doing this on our phone all day or we're typing all day, and we elevate our shoulders and hold a lot of tension here. So this is a really great way to work on your own body by yourself and release a lot of that tension and stress. So we're just going to start with quick stretch. I'm going to just bring my head to the side, grab the side of my head with my opposite arm and pull it over. My opposite arm is pressing down on the floor, so I get a good long stretch all along that line there. I'm going to move quickly through this, so try to stay with me, or you can watch the video later. So normally you would hold these stretches for a minute or more. I know that y'all, or those of you who watch all of my videos know that in order to gain muscle memory for the stretch, you got to hold it for a minute or more, and you want that muscle memory to have long-term effectiveness of the stretch. So I'm just moving quickly for time's sake. I gotta cook dinner. So now we went side to side. Now I'm gonna turn about 45 degrees and look down, bring my hand on the back of my head and just gently pull it forward. I'm not tugging, just very gentle, just using the weight of my arm to pull forward. All right, same thing on the other side. And then I'm just going to kind of rock my head from side to side like I'm saying no. And the reason I'm doing this, my right side is really, really tense and tight right now. I've been tossing and turning and sleeping weird, so I've got a little something happening here on the right side of my neck. So I'm just giving it a little extra love. And I'm going to actually kind of feel in there with my fingertips. And right there I found a trigger point. So I'm just going to hold that point. Deep, constant pressure. Take some deep breaths. And that shoots right behind my eyeball. That hurts like a bitch. So I'm going to hold on to that until that starts to melt away. And just move it around as that muscle starts to release. And there it goes. Nice and easy. I tell you what, when you learn the trigger point therapy technique that I teach in all of my massage courses, you'll be amazed at how quickly really stubborn knots and tight muscles will melt like butter. After, you have maybe spent who knows how long, grinding at it, massaging it, friction, using a lot of friction, rubbing, to no avail. The trigger point therapy makes such a huge difference. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side because I feel a little something on this side too. And I'm just kind of feeling around with my fingers until I get that spot. Oh, there it is. All right, so I feel that shooting right up into my head with the pressure that I'm applying. So I'm just going to hold that constant pressure. I'm going to move my head around a little bit. That just helps me, get all the angles of the muscle. Take a couple deep breaths. Oops. Sorry about that, guys. Let me get you back up there. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so that melted nicely for me, and I'm just gonna kind of use my fingertips to rub along the side of the neck, and we're good there. Now I'm going to grab my foam roller. So here, I'm going to readjust you here a little bit. Just to make sure y'all can see me. Okay. Put this behind, right at the base of my spine. And I'm gonna roll, here, let me move up a little bit. I'm gonna roll all the way up the spine, nice and slow. And you'll hear some snap, crackle, pop, more than likely, and that's a good thing. So I'm just gonna move really slow and go the full length of my spine, all the way up to my neck, and then all the way down to the sacrum. And just be really mindful as you're doing this, any areas that feel more tense, more tight, hold yourself. So I've got a lot of tension in my low back right now, so I'm just gonna hold on the foam roller, just deep, constant pressure until I feel that start to melt and release. I'm gonna slowly move up. Now for those of you that have like your shoulders round forward a little bit due to, having a desk job or whatever, this is a great thing to do with the foam roller, is bring it up to about your shoulder blade level and just let the arms fall, just your head and your arms fall over the foam roller. And I'm sorry guys, my allergies are driving me nuts, so my nose is so itchy. Whew. So what I like to do here is just hang out. You might move your head a little bit from side to side. I like to pick my bum up off the mat, and that applies a little added pressure to the top of my back. And yeah, just hang out here. It's a great way to let the muscles, they're so used to being elongated, rounded forward. If you can do the opposite direction by rounding back, it gives those muscles a good break, basically, and helps reshape them. I'm going to put my hands behind my head just because my neck's a little sensitive when it bends backward like that. So while I'm here on my shoulder blades, I'm going to actually turn my upper body from side to side so it adds a little extra pressure to each shoulder. This feels really nice. All right, so now I'm going to shift. I'm going to keep my foam roller. I'm going to have it underneath my armpit. And I'm going to lay down on it, bring my arm up on top of it, like so, and kind of, move my body up and down. So I'm just rolling, just little movement, small little movements, rolling out my shoulder blade, the back of my shoulder blade. This is your rotator cuff area. So those of you that type, have a desk job, use your hands a lot with your job, your rotator cuff area is going to be really tight. So this is great for that. Be careful here if you have had shoulder injury, if you've dislocated your shoulder. This would be great for it, but just be mindful and be careful on the amount of pressure. So I'm just going to roll a little bit. And I found a tight spot, so I'm just going to hold pressure right on that tight spot. Take some deep breaths. And I'm sorry if you guys hear some noise. My partner is putting a new roof on our greenhouse right now, so if y'all can hear that, I apologize. But I'm not stopping him because I want a new roof on my greenhouse. All right, I'm gonna move to the other side. Normally I don't do this because I like to move through these videos quickly, but I really need it today. My body is pretty achy. So, oh, yeah, that's good. For those of y'all that have had like skiers or whatever that have had shoulder injuries, this feels really great. So all of this is a wonderful practice in body awareness. And body awareness is so, so important in our routine, daily lives, or what our daily lives used to be. We get caught up in life and we really have a disconnect between our mind and body. And unless you have a meditative or yoga or some kind of mind-body practice, you don't really have good body awareness. And that's dangerous because especially as you get older, stuff starts to dysfunction. And if you don't have that mind-body connection and fully aware of what's going on, it's pretty late in the game when you figure out that, ooh, I have a big problem, and you finally get treatment for it, and it could be too late. So body awareness is really important, and doing this self-work, great practice in body awareness. Oh, there's a nice spot. So I'm going to hold that. All right, let's move on. So we're done with the foam roller. Now we're gonna grab my trusty tennis balls in the sock. So I've got 2 of them in there, and I'm going to take these guys and place them on each side of my spine. And I'm just rolling all the way up between the shoulder blades. And they're getting caught in my shirt, so give me a second. All right, I'm gonna put them right in between my shoulder blades because that's where I have the most tension. And I'm gonna lift my bum off the mat like I did before, and that applies added pressure to the spot I have them on. And I'm not rolling, I'm not digging, I'm not causing friction. I'm just deep, constant pressure right in between my shoulder blades. And they're on each side of my spine. And oh my gosh, y'all, I'm telling you, this feels amazing. So I'm just gonna hold here. I might shift my body slightly up and down just to kind of get different angles of the muscle that I'm trying to work on. Good, that feels so much better. I'm gonna shift and I'm gonna get the ball right on the back of my shoulder blade like we were working earlier with the foam roller, and just hold that deep pressure. And then I'm gonna do the same thing in my lower back because I've got a lot of lower back tension right now. And so if you can imagine, the top of your sacrum, the top of your sacrum is here, or the crest, the top of your pelvic bone, basically. And what am I trying to tell you? And then this is your spine. So there's this little kind of sweet spot right at the crux of those two things. And that, whenever you have low back pain, if you can get in that sweet spot with a tennis ball, it really releases the entire low back. You might also move down into the sacrum and do the same thing, but start with that area, that sweet spot area, because I guarantee you that's where your trigger point more than likely is. All right, so I'm going to go right to that spot because it's always the tense spot on me. And I'm just going to hold constant pressure. Now, I'm up on my elbows, as you can see, and my knees are bent. My feet are on the mat. But I want to add some pressure. It's not enough pressure. So I'm going to lift one knee and actually lift my whole leg. Bring my knee a little closer, and it adds pressure right to that sweet spot I was talking about. Then I'm going to lower my leg down. I'm just going to do this motion right here. So you're getting a little bit of an ab workout and you're releasing your low back. I mean, win-win. I'm going to do that on the other side. So this is called active release. So anytime that you're activating the muscle while you're applying the deep pressure, that's active release. And it is hella effective, I'm telling you. It is really the most effective tool that I have for stubborn, tense areas in the body. All right, so I'm going to move on to the golf ball. Well, this isn't a golf ball. This is a gumball machine ball. But you can use a golf ball or whatever small ball you can find around your house. And I'm going to go right in that sweet spot with this. And this guy is like the perfect size. It fits right in that little sweet spot. And I'm telling you what, man, when I have low back pain, it completely melts away when I use this guy. So I'm going to get right in that spot that I was talking about earlier. And you're going to have to like kind of shift your body around to get it where you want it. And then I'm going to lift my knee because that pushes my body right into that ball and adds the pressure that I want. And I'm just holding deep, steady pressure and taking deep breaths. That's all there is to it, man. It's really, really easy work that you can do on yourself. And so effective. All right, I'm going to change it to the other side. Do the same thing. Good, and then with this guy, so this is more used more for like acupressure work. So when you have those very specific small trigger points, you want to use the golf ball or the smaller, harder ball to get to those. And I know I have one in my rhomboid on the right side, so I'm going to get that with this guy. And once I get it in place, I'm going to move my arm out and across the body, just like this. And again, I'm using that active release. And I found a really tight spot. I found that money spot, so I'm just going to hold my arm in place and hold that constant pressure. And take some deep breaths. Good. Now I'm going to lift the arm up and down with the elbow bent. And then I'm going to switch to the other side and do the same thing. Awesome. Okay. Now I'm going to grab the tennis balls again, and I'm going to put them right underneath my neck. And so they're on each side of my cervical spine. And they're also in my hands. So I'm going to lie back on them, and I'm holding them in my hands. And I'm just going to turn my head from side to side. And oh my goodness, that massages my neck so wonderfully. Feels so good. And I'm just going to keep that up because it feels amazing. I hope y'all are trying this at home with me and enjoying this as much as I am. All right. One last thing I want to show y'all is if you have a trigger point in the rotator cuff muscles, so the back of the shoulder blade, this area back here. A lot of folks will get trigger points back there. Again, like I said, if they type all day or use their hands a lot with whatever they do. And a great active release technique for that area, get your smaller ball, your golf ball, place it right in the back of the shoulder, and oh my, I found it right away. Let your elbow fall down to the mat. I'm going to take my other hand to hold my head up because my neck just doesn't want to hold my head up right now. And then I'm moving my arm back and forth. And ouchie, let me tell you, that is a really good spot I found. And I'm just going back and forth with this active release. And I've got the ball just deep, constant pressure back there. And oh, I found the money spot. So now I'm just going to hold my arm here and take some deep breaths. Wowza, that is a good spot. All right, that melted away. And that's all there is to that, guys. It's really not rocket science. It's super easy to do your own body work. And granted, I don't want to take business away from massage therapists, but during this quarantine time, when it's safer to do this on your own, I highly recommend that you do that. And that's the whole reason that I'm doing these videos for y'all. I'm going to be continuing them until we finish the body. So next Thursday night, we will do the lower body, and I hope that you join me for that. Also, if you want a full body self-massage video, I do have one of those. It's like an hour and a half long on my YouTube channel, which is Karmic Healing Retreats. And I have some other videos on there that can help you out. If y'all have any self-care questions for me, feel free to DM, and I hope y'all have a great evening.